Welcome to Daggers and Shadow Daddies.
We're your hosts, Ryan and Adriana. Close your legs and open your book. Let's get to reading.
Warning, this podcast contains explicit content.
It's about to get nasty.
It's all vibes and no facts.
Let's get to spoiling.
Wait, no, these are spoiler-free episodes.
Not the way I do it. Disclaimer, I'm not feeling well. Ryan is sick, drinking his tea, sitting next to a beautiful lady.
On a cold winter night.
Sitting next to you makes my tea feel cold.
Wait a minute.
Because
Oh.
you're so hot. Yeah.
I had to think
It's
about
not
it.
a good joke.
Well, on this, do you remember the scene where Liam changed his temperature to make himself colder so then they would cuddle?
Yeah, that's what I do for you. I will myself to be, I don't know, 10 degrees colder than a live body should be.
What did you think of that scene?
I liked it, actually.
Really?
Yeah,
I thought you were going to make fun of him.
No, I get it. Sometimes you just want to be cuddled.
Well, I kind of laughed at the idea that she was also cold, and then he's like keeping himself cold.
No, he said it's cold out here, and she could feel his cold.
And then he turned into a little furnace.
Well, no, he turned into an ice cube so he could get near her.
Well, yeah, but
She's
then
like, you are cold. And then their body heats combine. It's like you and me, when you're a furnace and I'm an ice cube. And sometimes I want to be a little ice cube, and sometimes I want to be the big ice cube.
but each time you're always the ice cube.
Yeah, I'm the ice cube, you're the furnace, baby.
But with the same skill, he was able to heat up his hand.
I'll just breathe on my fingers, it'll be fine. To hell with you, neuropathy. We got places to be.
That's right. You now have a name for when your fingers like go numb.
Yeah, they
From
change
the cold.
colors and then they go numb. It's so weird. It turns out people are like, oh, it could be diabetes. How would I get diabetes?
Well, the route I was going to go with this was Liam turned his hands into vibrators.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I missed it. I thought he just warmed them up.
No, he warmed him up and he was surging power in her.
That's more of a taser than a vibrator. What do your vibrators do?
I don't.
Maybe I don't understand what they're doing. They don't seem like they're...
They're not
Surging
surging
power.
power.
I've never been more... I feel a little outgunned, frankly.
Well, he even makes a comment. He's like, I told you there's other things I can do with these hands.
Besides...
I forgot about his calloused hands.
Yeah, he's not a real woodworker. Guy's an impersonator. I don't even know if I think he's God anymore.
I was kind of all over the place in what I thought of the sex scenes. There were two back to back. You got his POV and then you get her POV, I believe. And I was liking it. It wasn't anything weird, anything odd.
What would be weird? What would be past your comfort zone?
The book we DNF'd.
I don't even know if what they were doing was weird. Hearing it described so vividly was odd.
Well, there's nodding involved and then a dinosaur attack as he was still knotted.
They were both still stuck, right?
Yeah. So I would say that is a limit.
Dinosaurs or the knot?
I don't even know. Probably not the nodding. That's just more funny. It was that is a funny book. It was just.
It was too much for me.
It was really descriptive.
Also, the P word was used a lot.
Oh,
And that always takes me out of it.
pussy was used in this
Okay,
book.
yep, I know. I know. It's not that it's a bad word, but I'm like a little toddler. When I hear that word, I'm just like, oh, we're not supposed to say that. Don't say that.
Yeah, I think Liam says it at one point when he's fingering her.
He does. And it was off-putting.
Overall, I really liked the spicy scenes. It seemed like,
Maybe you told me this was closed door.
oh,
That door seemed pretty fucking open to me.
but when you listen to the book that we did not finish, I think I see what the closed door must mean, that it does get more intense.
But I don't understand. What sort of door? I feel like I could watch two people fuck and it would be less intimate than the book that we DNF'd. Because having it described while it's going on is crazy to me. It also made me realize that I can't do dirty talk at all. I am physically incapable of what was said in that book.
And maybe that's where I was kind of back and forth because I just wanted Liam to stop talking, like stop talking and take care of her. So it's probably me that has done this to you.
He weirdly has like these points where he's like hyping himself up. He's like, and this is all without a wiener, baby. And I'm like, yeah, you should be at least as good with the other tools at your disposal as you are your junk.
I found the Fable book description for it, and it does say closed-door romance, suggestive dialogue, but no explicit, intimate scenes. I have been taking closed-door romance to mean what happens in TV shows where they go in the bedroom and close the door, and it's implied what they're doing, and then
You hear a headboard knocking against the wall a little.
something like that,
Yeah.
and then the next morning you see the bed head and the morning after
It's
glow.
implied.
Yeah, that's what I assume these books mean. And then you get into it, it's like, oh, because Throne of Glass, that entire series, or at least the first one, is also listed as closed door romance.
What the fuck is the second one listed as?
I don't know.
Pornography? I've seen porn that was less suggestive.
And I think what kind of got me with these descriptions is closed door romance seems fine for what, I guess, for our kids, middle school and high school, of course, but not by this standard. I wouldn't be comfortable with our daughter reading this.
Listen, this sex scene, tastefully done for the most part. I'm going to make fun of it a little bit because it's, anytime you're listening to two other people have sex, it's weird. For me. Like, I'm not going to hear anybody describe having sex and not think, oh, I'm going to tease them for this a little bit. But I don't know what level of romance I was expecting. Does that make sense? I don't know what they could have put as a placeholder that would have sufficed for you and I.
Oh, to me, I don't think it matters if there's explicit sex scenes or even, well, clearly even more explicit is a boundary that I didn't know that I had until I read a book that was just a little too much detail.
Give me with your fingers, how close were you to not DNFing it?
The last book?
Uh-huh. How far did you get into the 22-minute first sex scene? How many minutes into that were you when you were like, I cannot listen to more?
I think maybe a couple minutes.
Okay. Well, listen, I listened to 22 minutes, had several panic attacks throughout the thing. A bit of a crisis for a moment. So I'm like, maybe I'm doing sex wrong. And then I realized, nope, I'm not. They're weird. It's too much.
It was just too descriptive for me. It could have really
if you're
been
fucking a
shortened.
creature that's capable of nodding, it's not, that's odd. No human being should have that experience. Period. I don't care if you love the donkey or not. And I don't even know if donkeys do that. I know ducks do or something. No, ducks is corkscrews.
Overall, there are plenty of books that make us look innocent. And
I was. I'm not an innocent man anymore.
Haunting Adeline is one that a lot of
I
people
don't
read.
want
I
to get
can't
into
do that
that.
one.
I think it's got violence in it.
Sexual violence, yeah.
No,
and that's a boundary.
Well, that's what I meant, not violence in general. I'm sorry. I cannot deal with the MCs end up yelling at each other a lot, and it disgusts me. No, I don't want to deal with books that have sexual violence, and if that's your thing, it's your thing.
Yeah, I'm unbothered what anybody else reads. Well, we should get started in our chapters. I have been trying to improve my notes to do better summaries so we can get through books a little
How many
bit.
times did Liam's hands flex?
Oh, they didn't flex at all.
Oh, they did.
Liam kind of irked me a couple
Twice.
times.
2 hand flexes
Oh, good
in
catch.
these chapters. Yep.
Well, I was going to say, Liam kind of irked me a couple times in this.
Baby, tell me how.
Well, the first one was him realizing that he loves her, and it was just the way that he was saying it. I know he didn't intend it probably the way that I took it, where he's just like, you make me feel XYZ. You make me, you make me, you make me.
You make me feel like a natural woman. You remember that?
Yeah. But by like the third you make me, I'm like, God damn it, Liam, you need to own up to your own feelings and your own actions and don't put any of this on Diana. And that's when I realized I was being ridiculous and that I think he was well-intended and he was just working through his feelings and I was being a little hard on him.
First of all, it would be Liam, damn it, Liam.
Liam, damn it, Liam.
Yeah,
Why?
he's God.
Oh my
And second thing is, oh, you said something else and I was going to throw in a witty quip and now I can't remember what it was.
I don't remember.
Oh, he was well-intended and well-endowed.
Very well endowed.
How well-endowed, Adri?
Coke can whip is what I got from
I don't
this.
believe that was the words in this book ever.
Or she wrapped his hand around
She
his
said her hands
hands.
couldn't fit around it. That's 2 hands, baby.
Oh.
This dude's packing a fire extinguisher.
No.
All right. Yeah. I know you're not scared, but I want you to think about it.
I thought it was one hand on top of the other, and for middle finger to thumb,
Just couldn't touch?
Yeah,
well, that's not enormous if it was close.
Well, unless it's a Coke can, that's huge.
A Coke can's big around, but it's not like
And
big.
so now she has 2 Coke cans stacked on top of each other. Is the size
I think
of
a Coke can's only about 4.5, 5 inches tall. So that would only be like a 9 or 10 inch dog.
Well, she had both hands stacked on top of each other and still was able to deep throat while blowing him.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Is his cock more impressive or her throat?
Oh, yes. I think we need to give her some credit here.
I'm going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at her go. She didn't even throw up. She's like, I took it all in. And I'm like, oh my God, Diana, please. I'm a married man. Can't be reading this.
You and Logan. Logan made a comment and Liam was just like, I would never feel about you saying these things. And he's like, it's not about me. It's about you.
Which I think is valid. It's about you, Liam. And you're a big old penis, but not godly sized.
What do you mean?
Having a slightly bigger than normal penis is great.
Slightly normal than bigger.
No.
Slightly bigger than normal.
There we go.
Is like six and
No.
a half?
No.
Yeah.
I refuse to believe that.
Yes,
No,
it
a
is.
regular size Rudy penis is anywhere from 6 to 7.
Oh my God, no.
And then,
You've seen more dick than me. Why would I know this and you don't? What?
okay, imagine this. Imagine the book is like, he has an 8-inch penis.
They
Are we still
told
impressed?
us.
No, hold on. Bear with me. It's an exercise. If they said, Liam has an 8-inch penis, are we still really that impressed?
Yeah.
What if it's the width of like, I don't know, it's smaller than a Coke can, but not Campbell's soup style, but
No,
something.
that's still pretty big.
I don't know.
I was
I'm not
listening
that
to this scene.
bullshit. I know you wouldn't be impressed when it's just like, oh, it's an 8-inch penis. You wouldn't go, wow, that's god dick. You would say, well, that's all right. That's a penis.
Fair, but I also, we're not getting into this
All I'm
because
saying
you don't
is,
want to be in pain.
then be patient.
Anyways, I was drinking a Coca-Cola at the time, and I was like, oh, 2 of these stacked is what I'm
And you
seeing here.
shoved it in your throat.
Deep throat.
You're like, ugh. You're like, I don't know. Godly, maybe not. I'm just saying a Dasani water bottle. That's a big penis, but it's not like, oh my God, this is a fantasy book. The other book, those people had dog penises. Well, like, I assume larger than that, but you know what I mean? The physics of it.
Yeah.
This motherfucker has magic. He teleports, and you're telling me that he has big dick energy because his dick is slightly bigger than most people's penis. It doesn't follow.
I guess I thought it was on the large end for humans, and you think that
For a human, but for a god?
you thought it should be 2 inches larger than the largest man? Longer?
No, the longest dong in the world is like 24 inches long. I don't think he
Ew.
needs anything that crazy.
No.
I said a small fire extinguisher, Adri.
Well, I mean, we can change
I'm
the
saying 18 inch.
details.
All right, so let's go with this.
18?
Yeah, I think if he had an 18-inch long peen,
What?
it's my fantasy. Shut up.
18?
Yeah, I want it to be big enough that like, oh, okay. Like, okay, think of like a horse dick, right?
Oh.
Like that long, but bigger around. Because horse dick is like human width, girth. Like you want something.
I've never got that
Bullshit.
close to one.
There's no way you've never seen a horse dick.
I've seen it, but I haven't gotten that close to know it with.
See, I had a buddy and his dad bred horses and we had to rub their faces together to get them all excited and then get them all up on each other because he wanted it done natural style instead of insemination. And my face has been closer to most horse dick than people dick. Maybe it's giving me a skewed view.
You're like, Liam is smaller than a horse?
My 2 points of reference are old Italian men in the gym, which is the opposite of a horse penis, and then the horse dicks. And I think that somewhere in between those, maybe more on the horse side, should be the guy who thinks he's God or is God.
Oh my God, that would be... Whoa.
She also has a magic vagina. It's no big deal. She literally shapeshifts into a dragon. You don't think she could shapeshift that cervix out of the way a little?
Oh my God. What? Just so he can have... No.
So he can? No, so she can. Enjoy his godly pee.
I mean, that makes blowing him a little more impressive, but that's so far away from him. How far away you'd be?
Well, about 1.5 feet at the start. And then you would move in closer as you became more successful in your endeavors.
No.
You've got to work your way toward a goal.
He's...
Fine, he has...
8 or 9.
What'd you say? Oh my God. No, we started at like a 10. Let's give him a 10-inch dick.
10?
10 isn't that crazy, Adri, that is the distance from the end of my thumb to the tip of my pinky is 10.5 inches almost.
Well, that looks appropriate for 2 hands and a deep throat.
And a deep throat? Put your hands up here again. No, it isn't.
Fine, he's 12.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, we'll go with a foot.
For being a guy.
You know what? Fine. Yep.
Yeah.
That's fair. We gave Taryn 8 feet. We give him 1 foot. That's fair. Yeah, you thought I'd forget.
I forgot
I'm cataloging cock over here. Not to worry.
Well, when we were reading Akatar, you were using their wingspan to determine their dick size because there was some comment about...
That's what they said.
Yeah, the bigger...
Rhysand's like, hey, want to measure my wings? They say there's a correlation. It turns into hands and feet of the Akatar world. So we learned something about bats. We know something about dragons now due to our research. Now we've got celestial gods. And we know, okay, he's rocking a 1-footer that is Coke can diameter.
Oh my God.
And Diana is the throat goat. Look at her go. She shape-shifts her face into like a horse. Oh, so it extends the mouth portion long enough so it's not choking her out.
You know, here...
Otherwise, he's stirring the contents of her stomach. Man needs to chill out. Right? That's what I thought.
And I can't get over the audacity for me DNFing the last book when this is the conversation.
Imagine how fucking explicit that other book is where it made me bashful. This I'm totally comfortable with. That book really, truly made me feel like a child. Like I should not be allowed to hear what's happening.
Because I've listened to spice scenes and just cleaning, going about my day, driving in a car. It's whatever. Okay. I don't know.
All right.
Maybe not the worst part of the intimacy, but...
What is the worst part of intimacy? Insertion? Is that where it all goes wrong for you?
Probably when Diana's swallowing. I wouldn't feel comfortable if I'm in a parking lot and people are getting in and out of their cars and they're hearing that.
Okay, I'm going to be real honest. I didn't listen that well to this. She swallowed his whole dick, or she swallowed when he finished?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. Look at Diana go. The goat. Diana's the goat. This might be the only... Did this happen in any of our other books?
Oh, no. You're right. But I think all the ladies have given their man a blowjob but haven't swallowed.
But not to completion.
Well, I would assume they did.
Well, maybe don't make that assumption. It was clarified here.
I think we just don't find out.
You know what?
And I think that's fair because there should be no pressure on expectations.
No, true.
Because as a young girl...
For both real people and people writing books, you don't have to describe what happens to the cum. No,
that's not necessary. I mean...
No, you know what? Who cares? It goes in the jug with the rest of it. Oh, we got more super splooge over there. Don't worry, we're going to make a high lord.
Oh.
It's like a snowman made of cum.
No.
Liam's been pent up for 1,000 years. Should have come out like tapioca.
Stop, right? Oh.
Again, how awful was the other book?
No, this is worse. You are being worse than that other book.
Really? I'd like to play an excerpt for you.
No. No, thank you.
Challenge accepted or no?
No, thank you.
The other book is a fine book.
It's
really graphic.
Fully. It just because it's not my thing doesn't mean it was a bad book.
Correct. I don't disagree. But it was pretty fucking hardcore to make me go too far. Not for me.
Wow, we've gotten off track.
Did we? Or is this a track we were meant to be on? Anyway, so he nurses her back to health and immediately starts feeling her up so that he can fuck her with his hands.
That's a overview, yeah, because chapter 39, this is after she was taken away. He's then searching for her, and it's just like in his nightmares. He finds her, he uses the blade of oblivion for her, something he never thought he would do. And the irvacuva can hurt her.
Save the name of them this time.
I looked it up even.
Good job.
Figured out how to spell it too.
Ooh la la. Girl.
The irvacuva injuries she does not heal from with her...
As quickly.
Yeah,
she
there we
does
go.
heal, but too slowly to save her life.
Correct. Chapter 40. Liam takes her to an ancient woman's home. We now know whose home that is, and that's a little fucked up. And this woman rescued her, and then I think he was able to use his powers
Side
to
note,
help
who
her.
is this woman?
You don't know whose house they ended up going to?
I, for some reason, completely missed this.
Peter's.
Okay, who's
Peter from the very beginning book.
Peter Dinklage.
The guy who she straddles in the very beginning.
Holy shit, really?
And offers to Tobias, who then...
Reanimates him.
Yeah, uses his body.
But there were two old people in his house. Peter was one of them?
Those were his parents.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so she felt really
They're
guilty.
so sweet. Well, that sucks.
So they're in this house. She's healing. Liam uses his power. He then talks to Logan through a mirror. I just find that entertaining. The whole mirror, mirror on the wall. This is the second mirror phone call.
Who's the kingliest celestial of all? He's like, it's me.
With my big dick energy.
He's just there, nude, hanging out in front of the mirror. He's like, Liam, this is very important. Liam's like, yes, indeed, sir. And he puts up his hand so he doesn't have to look at his penis, but he drops his thumb so that it covers the pain. He's like, sir, you've sprouted a third leg. I was unaware we had tails out the front.
Tails?
Yeah, front tail.
That book really traumatized you.
Oh, man, you're right. Guys, there's tails in the other book. If you're into it, you should really read that book.
Liam using the blade in that last chapter caused an earthquake, and that's what him and Logan talked about. Logan also says Gabby and Nevera watch movies, and he asks, why do women like to cry so much?
Bitches.
Am I right?
Yeah. It came off as a my wife kind of joke.
It did.
It's so funny to me. I'm like, wow, you even wrote these guys to kind of be shitty in their own little way.
I'm like, Logan, why don't you just go watch it with your wife?
He doesn't want to cry.
I'm going to give him that. I hope that's the reason, rather than him being like, it's about time she made a friend. So now I don't have to watch movies with her.
I tried to convince my stepdad to listen to 1865.
Did it work?
I don't know.
He would enjoy it.
Yeah, everybody enjoys it. Everybody that's ever heard it.
Oh, it's me not wanting to listen to it.
Oh, look at us go. We sussed our way right through that one. For a smart girl, you're pretty mean about it.
I'll get to it soon, I promise.
Won't. You never will.
It's coming up on a year.
Just saying. I'm the Logan, or I guess I'm the Never in this
I'm
situation.
the Logan.
You're the Logan.
Yeah.
You're like, what do boys like to hear about war? Fuck you. I'm just teasing. I love you. I didn't have the heart to do it. I'm dumb.
Well, now I feel a little hypocritical making fun of Logan.
As you should.
Liam is smiling again, and Logan recognizes it.
Yeah, because his balls are empty again. It's
No,
been a
not
minute.
yet. No, they haven't fucked yet.
He sees the future. He knows.
Oh.
He had a That's So Raven moment, and the only part he zoomed in on was him coming.
Yeah. No.
He's like, and he's like, oh, what the fuck was that? I know where this is going.
And Logan is sent to go investigate Camilla and Santiago, both of whom are witches.
Yeah, why are you surprised by that?
I thought men couldn't be witches. I thought they were wizards.
Warlock would be the preferred term.
Or men can be witches. And that's not a female term.
You know what? In this day and age, Adri, a man can be whatever he wants to be. A man can be a nurse if he wants to.
Oh my God, I'm the sexist one this episode.
You are so sexist. Oh, he has a coven. No, Adri, he's just a man who wants to be a witch.
He does have his own coven too.
Yeah, correct. I'm not lying to you.
Yeah, no, I just thought it was in terms of, like, when we talked about a wyvern versus a dragon, how many legs they have, a witch is a female term for magic wielder.
Let me ask you a question. This isn't a trap. It's definitely a trap. I can't lie to you. So, what would you say Jennifer Lawrence does for a living? What is her occupation?
She's an actress.
Yeah. Did you, were you going to say actor?
Yeah.
Yeah. See? But she can be an actor. Adri, because she's a woman and it's the year of our Lord 2025. My brother in Christ, I've got to tell you, you got to quit putting people in boxes. They're all individuals and they can be whatever they want. I could be a stewardess if I would like to, or a flight attendant, whatever they're called now.
I can accept when I am wrong.
Well, a woman can accept when they're wrong.
He was a wizard.
Huh. And a man can also accept when they're wrong, because we're all equal.
My bad.
I love you so much.
You're so problematic.
I know. I love you so much. You're not coming off problematic. I just like poking that a little.
And the chapter ends with, the visions are a possibility, not a certainty. We talked about, are these visions a for sure thing that will happen? Or is there free will to change these visions?
Yes. And we landed on, if you subscribe to free will, it's not set in stone until after it's happened.
Liam thinks that it is certainty, but his dad believed they were a possibility. And it sounds like his grandpa also believed they were certainty, and it drove him mad.
Yeah. Yeah, which I would like to point out, there's some flaws in my logic when I broke this down, because I simplified it the way that I think of it. Free will is necessary, right, for the story to move forward in any way if it's entertaining. Therefore, they can't just be prophetic. They have to be something subject to change through decision, but that's looking at time like it's a straight line, baby. That's not how time works. Time's a messy conundrum of bullshit.
I do like that small detail with that weird creature that they went and saw.
Her name was Diana.
No.
You monster. How dare you?
No, you leave me alone. You're picking on me. I'm sure you're going to find another one in here.
As long as you don't refer to her as that bitch.
When they go meet that one creature and ask questions about what is inside the book of Azrael, and Diana was getting frustrated, and Liam was like, they speak in riddles because they have no sense of time. It can be past, it can be present, and it can be future.
Yes. That would be very confusing. Can you imagine? It would be like a show that we're watching, like Severance, where when they put their brains together, things are happening simultaneously in their mind.
That creature seems more godlike than Liam.
Oh, how big's his penis?
Well,
that's actually how we can tell. Anything under 12, it's just a celestial.
Chapter 41. It's cold in this house.
There's some cold in this house. Cold in this house. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't. And
you're not going to hurt me today.
I feel kind of guilty. Well,
oh, you really don't?
No. I know
there's
the cheer.
There's a hit song.
I was thinking of Bring It On or whatever cheerleading.
It's cold in here.
There must be some
toros in the atmosphere.
Is it toros? Or who is the one? Are you doing the white girl cheerleaders that stole the cheers?
Ice. Yeah. Yeah, am I appropriated that?
Hold on. I don't think we'll get a copyright issue if we play it. Yeah. Yeah. Bring it on. It's cold in here.
I said, burn! It's cold in here. I said there must be some toros in the atmosphere. I said, burn! It's cold in here. I said there must be some toros in the atmosphere. I said, O-E-O, E-O, ice, ice, ice. O-E-O, E-O, ice, ice, ice. Here we go, girls. I said, burn! It's cold in here. There must be some toros in the atmosphere. I said, burn! It's cold in here. There must be some toros in the atmosphere. I said, O-E-O, ice, ice, ice. Slow it down. O-E-O.
Ice, ice, ice.
So it's Clovers is the original.
You know what? I was just basing everything off of Christy Carlson Romano. And whoever the blonde person was that was in that movie that later became famous. Is it Kirsten Dunst?
Yeah, I think of her with Spider-Man.
What do you think of her with Spider-Man doing? When you envision her, is she upside down? Or is he upside down? Are they upside down?
He's upside down and she's standing in the alleyway. That scene.
Does he move lower?
No, stop.
Oh.
I was here to defend the whole premise of Bring It On. Cheers were being taken, and you used the word toros.
I did appropriate according to the movie.
2, Ryan, 1, me.
I don't feel guilty. I got one phrase to say to you, Adri.
What's that?
Bring it on again, Stevie. I like that for the sequel, they just went with, again, instead of bring it on some more. Or bring me some more. That would be great. No, that's not the point of bringing it on. I'm dumb. Bring it on as if they're bringing you food. Bring me more. I'm an idiot.
Was it movies like Bring It On that started the parody one that you love?
First of all, Fired Up is not a parody. Fired Up is its own genius intellectual property.
Yeah.
Fountain of Troy.
What if we eat panther meat? How do we like it? I could rewatch all of those cheerleader and dance movies from, I think, 2005 to 2010.
I can watch any of them except Step Up because I never
love
watched it.
Step Up.
I think that's one with Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I never saw that. And so Magic Mike was where I was like, who's this talented young man?
Who knows how to dance?
Well, he's not gifted like a god, but I suppose he's adequate.
Wait, how do we get here? Oh, it's cold.
In here.
In the cabin.
Yeah, and I was doing a WAP joke earlier.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Those were the lyrics to WAP?
No.
Just a WAP
I
joke?
don't remember what you said, but it made me think of parodying WAP.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, there's some hoes in this house, hoes in this house. And you had the, what did you say? It's cold in this house. That's what it was.
Shameless plug between chapters.
Want more daggers and shadow daddies? Get a month ahead of where you're at right now. Sign up for 1 month on Patreon and then cancel that shit after you binged it.
That was great.
I listen to a lot of podcasts. I know how their advertisements work, and this is what I wish they did. It was only 5 seconds long.
And this is where we already talked about it. Liam lowers his body temperature, especially his feet, I think, when they finally do cuddle up. But in this moment, she's like, don't you have your own bed? And he's like, I don't want my own bed. So he's finally acknowledging, what are your wants, Liam? Say what you want, share it. And obviously,
but he
Diana
says it
agrees.
is, I want to be warm.
Well,
He doesn't say, I want to be next to you, Jenny.
he's being a little cheeky about it.
Oh, cheeky because his butt cheeks are out. He reaches over, he just flexes his cheeks and clasps her just lightly with him. He's just like, boop, a little squeeze. She's like, what was that? What'd you pinch me with? And he's like, wouldn't you like to know? And he like scoots away and he's pulling her leg with him.
No.
I got your leg.
Yeah, he plays into it of, well, I'm really cold and you're really cold.
The little yip she gives out when his cold feet touch.
Yeah.
That was such a nice touch. I felt so seen. I'm like, uh-oh, he got his feet too close. There's a spot where you can tell that they're getting warmer, but you don't touch their feet, and you're safe. If you accidentally let your foot touch their foot, and your foot's cold, they make noises and are upset.
As a cold boy yourself.
Yes, it's something of a frosty god.
He makes himself cold so he can cuddle. During this scene, he has wings.
No, what? The hell did you get wings from?
She said something about his wings.
I don't think so. You're probably right, but I'm choosing to ignore the fact that one more goddamned individual in one
I
of these
even
books.
replayed it.
Oh shit, I bet he does because he talks about flying. But he doesn't transform into a dragon beast like she does. He probably has angel wings.
I don't think that he's ever been depicted as having wings.
Maybe he didn't have his Red Bull then.
There are no images.
There's no photos.
Fan art of him with wings.
Oh.
Well, I guess if anyone wants to fact check me, chapter 41, it's around the time that he's already cuddled up with her.
I won't be doing that.
And his wings are cold, too.
Maybe he's got like a little flab under his bicep. You know?
I don't know.
And he's like, my wings are cold. And he's waggling.
Anyways, it gets intimate as they're cuddled up because Diana starts feeling insecure and like she's not strong and she's not capable. And he obviously builds up her confidence. And that's when they start smooching.
He said, you're a warrior by any measure. And he goes into this whole big what for about how she is a warrior princess / queen. He doesn't even say princess. Like, you're a queen and you're a warrior and you're sexy, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like touching her a little bit. And he leads into it perfectly, right? It's light fingertip touches. And then he's like, also now we're getting to the nipples. The way he attacks those nipples also for a second, I'm like, okay, there's some accuracy to this, but she's not like, whoa, slow down. We want to walk into this, not jump into the pool, big guy.
This is beginning relationship stuff.
It's probably fair. But still, if you really, the way he knows what he's doing, you'd think he'd know, like, wait for her to move him into you, basically. Like,
how he just goes after him. He's
Yeah.
like, it's about goddamn time.
yeah, like, no, your goal is to make her eager, and then you provide the obsession. Like, this guy, he knows what he's doing when he's there.
This is his first time being horny in thousands of years. He says this.
A fair point. She's lucky she's still got nibbles at all.
He's like, this feeling I haven't felt in thousands of years. I'm like, oh,
You really didn't get morning wood.
nope. And he almost came early.
Do you think he calls his cock the oblivion blade? Also, he's like, I'm going to unleash the oblivion blade. He just whips it out. He's like, there's no afterlife.
So they're taunting each other, and he just wants to give her pleasure during these dark times.
While she's healing, and she's stuck there, he took her to a place that she cannot leave.
He was kind of saying this in a way of, I'm not being selfish for my needs. He's like, I want her to feel so good because she's been through so much. You know what's going to make her
It's a
feel
mercy
good?
fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is for her benefit.
Yeah, you know what? And I think that was big of him. Fucking dumb. This guy. Yeah, I actually hate doing this. Touching nipples is my least favorite thing, and I'm doing it for her. Oh, I'm sorry, clit juices? Gross. But for you, I don't even need the wet wipes when I'm done. So fucking funny. I love when they portray it as this man is selflessly giving her an orgasm. Like,
You know,
every dude, that is the most selfish thing. Like, no offense, I can make myself come if I have to. That's not fun. Making you come is the thing that I kind of need you there for. You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck? I wonder, do women think that men are like, I'm just in this for me?
there are a lot of men who are like this.
I find that so hard to believe that those men would continue to get sex from people if that's their approach.
Well, yeah.
Seems
if
like you're not
in a-
going to get a lot of repeat business.
If you're in a committed relationship, that's pathetic if that's the type of energy that you're bringing to sex. But I think in new relationships and just starting off, I think there are a lot of men that will kind of play this role and pretend just to get laid. And then they do that for however long. She'll put up with it and then move on to the next girl.
Seems like a lot of work. Also, it's by far less fun. I don't know how you'd pat yourself on the back, be like, I cummed in her. Oh, good job. You aimed it toward a person? Great work. You stallion. Get the fuck out of here. That's not how it's done. But I get it. And I like that Liam took this approach, but in no way is it ever selfless. And so far, it's always painted that way in these books where he's like, I'm just going to focus on her because she needs it. Motherfucker, you're focused on her because the goal is to touch this beautiful woman. Like, that is the goal.
I don't think it was that bad. Like,
It was
we could
the best
laugh
one so
about it.
far.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as the scenes in these books, this was probably the best one yet. I think it's better than the throne scene, personally.
Okay.
Because the throne scene came off odd and sort of self-deprecating. Like, part of it was a power play for her, which I think is wonderful. But from my point of view, I'm like, this dude was here for the love of the game.
Yeah, he
Not
was.
to be like, oh, you're better than me. It's like, no. I'm good at this, and I want to be good at this with you.
Well, they're playing this little game too of do you want this or blah, 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 right?
And it's like, your cock. Oh, do you want it? Do you want it? Oh, you have to be quicker than that. And then it's like, it's a fucking wild.
Took that's way. I was getting at, they're playing this kind of back and forth game, and he definitely has this, I am here for your pleasure and at your disposal.
No. He's there for her pleasure, but she is still at his disposal.
Maybe I don't
He's not being
understand.
directed. He is doing exactly what he wants, but it benefits her. There is a major distinction in those experiences, and they're both awesome. But
Okay, because you're just saying because she's not telling him what to do.
yeah, he's coming into this with a game plan. His actions are entirely focused on her reaction,
Okay.
but not her. She's not like, okay, now you put your hands here, you're gonna rub lightly counterclockwise for a bit. She doesn't have shit written down for him, and there isn't like a subservience to it. It is, no, I'm God. I'm going to give you the experience that I'm capable of giving you. And I think that is a different experience.
Yeah, I would agree that that's what he was going for. I will give you a God ride is what I got from it.
Yeah, but he does point out, he's like, this is just the entry, baby. Because then you're getting weaned.
Oh, yeah, because I think it was in this chapter that he makes the comment, you got all of that with just my hands.
Yeah.
Imagine what my cock can do.
Yeah, which is
Well,
great.
now that we know it's 12 inches.
In a Coke can, so he's going to have to do some shit with it, but it's going to
And
be
it
a
can
move of
surge
patience.
power.
Which I expect. I expect it to vibrate, okay? And not like, the whole thing. Like, it's got like a setting where it's like from the base to the tip and it's rotating through the vibration.
Like the surging of, yeah.
Like a movement, almost like a wave.
Oh,
Like
fascinating.
It's like a wave that goes up through and down. If I was going to design my own penis, that's what I would do with it. I would have so many cool gadgets. In a weird way, I kind of hope I lose mine in an accident. But we're wealthy enough that they can like engineer me a new cock, and I'll be in the lab like Iron Man.
Well, I'm choosing the length because 12 is huge.
Nope, sorry. It'll have an adjustment. Don't worry. But
This little retractable
yeah, and
telescope thing.
well, not first of all, not little. Don't say that. This is gonna be my perfect pain. But I might add, what I really want to happen is I want the people in like the vibrator dildo industry to like have a picture of it on their wall, and they'll be like, Ryan built this in a goddamn garage. Like the Tony Stark thing. But how did he do it? And I'll be like, oh, you simple idiots. I've engineered the perfect penis. But you'll be upset a little bit because it'll be on the news. And I don't know. I haven't decided yet if it'll be flesh or something easier to clean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be cool? Like, I like what I got. Don't get mad at me. I'm talking to him right now. We're fine. But if he ends up lost in an accident, I reserve the right to engineer the penis that I think this man should be able to have.
Okay. All right.
And again, we don't need to go Coke cans and 12 inches.
No,
we can do
please
less.
no.
No. We'll do it less, okay? And we'll be gracious about it.
Conservative.
Well, not that conservative. Let's not get too excited. It's still going to be a showstopper. But I don't want it to be inconvenient to walk around with all the time. It'd be cumbersome.
Well, it's retractable. So
Well, not retractable. The size changes. Okay, there's going to be a fluid that you pump through it, just like a real penis, where it's like blood. It makes it bigger. Same thing. We got little Venturis and we got all kinds of tech going into this bad boy. It's going to be amazing. What I really got to figure out is the charging. Because imagine you're trying to sleep and you got to charge your penis because you never know what tomorrow brings. You don't want to go to bed with that bad boy on 10%. You get halfway into things and it wouldn't finish anything. You can't have that. But you got to be able to charge it in a way so that as you're moving around while you sleep, it's not unplugged. You're not pulling it out of the wall. Logistically, we got some stuff to work out. It's going to be amazing. And I don't know, maybe it's a battery pack that you just strap to it while you sleep. Okay. I don't want it to be able to come off of me though, because then somebody could steal it. And I want it to be my penis. Like we're not mass producing this guy. This is a one-off.
You have to do the little submitting your VIN number.
Patent. First of all, a VIN. No. It's one of one.
Not the.
I'm not registering this thing with the state.
To your name.
Yeah, and also as a deadly weapon. I have to get a concealed weapons permit. This thing's going to be awesome. Also, who knows? Maybe it has self-defense properties. Perhaps it shoots bullets.
Oh my God, no.
No. Like the nipple guns in Austin Powers.
No.
Machine gun jugglies?
Well, if it has that, then I am not participating in any activities.
Really?
With it. No.
What if you call me Pistol Pete?
You can
Pistol
go
Peter.
enjoy that with anybody else but
Well,
me.
just imagine though, we're like, hey, we're going to go to the gun range this weekend. Sight it in. Like,
Is the gun range
it's a very durable toilet. Also, it has to be used for peeing still. Oh, okay. Well, we're going to work it out on a later episode. It doesn't need to be done now.
Okay.
Just in case of emergency, be aware.
Well, back to this. They're taunting each other, and he just wants to give her pleasure during these dark times.
Mm-hmm.
And he can heat up his hand and surge power into her. Chapter 42.
It does seem like cheating, doesn't it? A little bit.
Well, he's a god.
Yeah, but
What's at your disposal?
okay. All right. Well, that seems a little odd.
Chapter 42.
Don't mind me. I have this light little taser thing.
Diana's POV.
Oh, yeah. I forgot what happens.
Morning blowy. This is when we get the Coke can reference.
Kind of, yeah. It's when we came up with it.
She wraps her hand around it, can't touch her fingers together, and then she stacks both hands and deep throats.
I thought she removed the hands for the...
She probably did, honestly. I don't think it's 12 inches.
Oh, well, no,
At
we
all.
do. Canonically.
Okay.
Just saying.
Awkward morning the next day with Peter's parents. This is when she finds out. Peter's dad is aware of what happened. He does like this little smirk at her or at him.
Oh, aware of what happened sexy-wise, not that
Yes.
she was a part of killing their son.
Correct. They didn't know this. Liam saw it as more beneficial to save Diana than it was to not go there.
Do you think maybe she wrote in splooge, "Sorry I killed your boy," and like left it on the bed for him to find later? She's like, that way I still was honest with him.
Wait, no. They just ended up leaving and not confessing.
Honestly, I could tell that you weren't listening, so I was trying to make it as absurd as I could.
I was looking at my bangs.
Do we not have enough reflective surfaces in this home?
I just need a comb so I can just comb it
You
throughout
look
this.
amazing.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
They have a personal talk. Liam won't say what his nightmare is, and
But he will come in her mouth. This man does not understand boundaries.
but his nightmare was of her
I'm
dying.
messing with you.
Okay.
I'm
I
just...
was like, you're being really hard on him right now.
No, not as hard as Diana was.
Oh. And they're waiting for Ava, and Diana will pose as his second in command. So Liam gets upset with Diana during this discussion when Ava does show up and is upset that she calls him her friend. But it's like, you also told her to be your second in command. So I think Liam's going to be upset no matter what.
Do you think that's the only thing that she really put out there for her disguise? Because if the only thing she said as her disguise was we're friends, then I can see where he might be upset. But if there were other areas in which she seemed to be of service to him outwardly, not servicing him like she did that morning.
I guess they didn't acknowledge to Ava and the other man that I am second in command. This is my role.
As opposed to being a
Yeah.
friend, she kind of violated what she said was going to be the thing anyway, and then just replaced it with friend.
Ooh, also, you were right in one way that Ava is not real or not alive.
But bam.
You get points for that.
Do we still think Ava was Azrael's daughter? Or do we think Ava was produced by Tobias? Yeah, Tobias. To pose as Azrael's daughter.
My guess is that she is real. That is her body. It was resurrected by Tobias because the Book of Azrael was locked in a tomb of the mother.
Yeah, I think they found Azrael's tomb. Couldn't get into it. I don't think Ava was actually Azrael's daughter. I think Azrael's daughter's still alive.
Oh.
We got so many more books to go. We cannot be killing people off like this. And I will admit, the way that this villain is written so far,
I liked it.
best. Fuck yeah.
Very ominous. Very little information about him.
It didn't turn out to be a fucking pointless piece of shit in the end.
Yeah.
Like our other villains all turn out to be.
Yeah, it's one villain per book.
Yeah, no, this is sick.
Yeah. Diana and Liam meet Ava and this other man. She immediately has an uneasy feeling about him. Liam is hurt that she called him her friend. The Book of Azrael is about how to kill Liam. So they just, even though they aren't honest, they are still kind of honest with them about what the purpose of the book is.
That's sort of what's going to incentivize them to go get the book.
True. They go in this dark temple, and supposedly her mother liked this temple, and Deanna found the opening by the end of chapter 42. I thought this was a wild goose chase and that they were just being fucked with this entire time to waste time as something else was happening. And maybe that's partially true, as during that time when they're going through this whole tunnel and back and forth, Gabby is being stolen or something.
Yep.
Chapter 43, Diana's POV. They're still traveling in the super long tunnel. Liam says, "You heal like a god. How can't you keep up?" And that irked me also. I'm like, Liam, why did you word it that way? That was rude.
Was it? He complimented her in this too.
Yeah, it just seemed like he could have been more tactful in how he told her.
If these
Or
people are
asked
supposed
her.
to believe that he's Sam Kyle and this is his second in command, I think him acting that way makes more sense.
Okay, that makes me feel better about it because I was like, why would you word it that way? That's so hurtful and dismissive to say, why can't you keep up?
No, I think when she said, this is my friend, he's like, fuck it. All right, full disguise mode then. And then he treats her how they'd planned on it being.
Yeah, this is part of this back and forth. They're not quite lovers.
It's not will they, won't they? It's will they, and for how fucking long won't they? When will they again?
And we learn that she is still recovering. This is, even though...
From the orgasm.
That too.
Her legs aren't working right.
They get into a large room with tombs. There's a tomb that burned Diana's hand, and Liam appeared. Like, he just, teleported, boom, right there. They find the Book of Azrael with a man on the tomb. I didn't understand why it wasn't actually Azrael's wife's tomb. It was some other man.
I think it was Azrael's tomb.
Oh, maybe. Well, they get it. And it sounds like only Liam could grab it. They kiss, and the book can hurt her, or at least she doesn't want to be near it, and it makes her uneasy. Ava admits that they've been attempting to open this tomb before, and they turn.
She said, we burned through so many Celestials trying to get this guy. And thank you were able to do it. And then her head cocks to the side, her mouth hangs open, and all of their injuries start showing. And they clearly have been reanimated and kind of glamored to look less injured. But she realizes the smell wasn't the nasty water, it was these fucking dead people.
Yes, that happens. Xaden is, not really Xaden, Tobias is controlling him. Tobias shows up whistling. Such a great entrance.
Badass. Honestly, Tobias is fucking cool.
He's way more badass than I was getting from Diana, but it sounds like that's intentional. Even Diana doesn't know what they are.
Diana doesn't fucking know what Xaden is. She doesn't know what Tobias is, and Tobias ends up being one of the four kings.
Yeah, I think Liam says the crown on his head. She's like, oh, I thought those were horns.
And he's basically the king of the dead.
Yes. Tobias brings up Xaden, and even Xaden and Diana's relationship, to taunt Liam a little bit, and that he can smell them on each other, so he knows that they're fucking.
Yeah. She spoke loudly, and he's like, you gotta come on your breath. Get out of here.
And I have the note, did Camilla set them up again? Was it this double? I
have a theory about a lot of this.
Okay.
I don't believe Camilla set them up. I think Camilla's still working in the background against Xaden and what's our guy with a cool name?
Drake.
Santiago.
Oh.
I think Drake didn't really make the trade. I think Drake is being controlled, and perhaps he's already dead.
Maybe. I also think that Drake did it because of Ethan's wife. Liam says that in the last chapter.
Isn't it interesting that Ethan isn't there?
Ethan was there.
Oh, I thought Ethan wasn't there and Drake was there.
It was Drake, Ethan, and the wife.
Okay.
After the whole
you're
camera
right.
scene. Yeah.
And what are the chances? I mean, since these people are so hard to tell if they're dead.
Yeah.
I wonder if she's not dead and just reanimated.
I don't know how you could know.
You gotta kill the god of death.
And I'm assuming that's how Xaden has been able to track them and get photos of them, is the amount of people that they just have everywhere under Tobias's control. That there were probably dead people walking around at the festival.
And Tobias is older than Sam Kyle.
Yeah, which I was taking this to mean that Diana is more powerful or more badass than Liam.
No, I don't think so.
No,
I don't think Diana's more badass than Liam is. And I think that Liam is insanely badass. The only thing that really threw me off was he was kind of getting his ass kicked because there were thousands, I guess, of Celestials that were reincarnated that were coming after him when he was battling this dude.
It seemed more time consuming.
You're right.
I need you out of my way so I can move forward and continue.
But I love the lore drop that came with this, where it's like, oh, your family's so fucked up, you don't even know about some of it. I think Xaden is his brother.
Xaden is somebody well known to the family, and even that weird creature thing was also being cryptic about, you have family secrets that you just don't know about.
And we got into the battle, right? Eventually. Well, we're probably not in there yet in these chapters.
No.
But he's like, your family's so fucked up, you don't even know. Your dad was a piece of shit. you're being a piece of shit. And then I got to save some of this for when we actually get into those chapters. But
Okay.
wow.
And this chapter ended with Tobias bringing back the dead. I have that you were right. Xaden is pretty much the daughter. Chapter 44 is Diana's POV. They're older than Liam. Tobias is the king of Xaden. There's 4 total, which is how he can raise the dead. And he has a crown on his head, but Diana thought they were horns. This makes Diana a queen of Xaden. I don't know. I have it spelled correctly, but I still can't pronounce it. The book is missing. Tobias and Liam are battling. Diana fakes having the book, and Liam can't use the Blade of Oblivion because if he does, he risks Diana's life. And then we're in this predicament. Tobias captures Diana, and I think he has his hand in her chest, holding her heart in order to manipulate Liam into giving him the book and use her as bait. Liam was scared, like actually scared. She saw this on his face, and Diana ripped Tobias's hand out along with her heart.
And Liam says in the next chapter.
Yeah, chapter 45, because he heals her and she wakes up.
He manages to heal her. She has a silver scar now.
Yep.
Where her heart has been healed, which I don't quite understand, but it's like he used up all his juice because he's fatigued. And he's like, why would you do this? Stop treating your life like it doesn't have value, blah, 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 which whatever. But she's like, I had to make the decision you couldn't make. It was me or the book, blah, blah, blah. And his line in this is so cold. He's like, don't act like you fucking know what I can do. I could have saved you and got that book. I'm the fucking man. And a part of me wants to believe that, even though she doesn't.
I don't believe him.
I do.
I don't think he had a plan. She genuinely saw fear on his face. And I think she
saw fear because he sees her heart is literally in the hands of the other guy.
Yeah.
Like, I think he could have that fear and still go, fuck it, crank it up to 11. And he blasts through that dude. He saves her. The book's there. It's all gravy, baby.
I think he was full of it. I think he thought he could do it.
I don't think so. I think he could have done it. And I think
Looked like a badass while doing it also.
Yeah, I really do think so. He's painted to be this dude, and he has never yet lied to us. Not once.
Fair.
When he says he could do it, I think he could do it.
Fine.
Have we found a limit for him yet? Or is it, oh, this has become a problem? Crank it up a little bit. Oh, crank it up.
I guess it's hard to know because Diana is also making her own decisions before we kind of see some of Liam's.
Yeah, I think Diana's actually the problem.
She is not.
Well, she's a little bit the problem. She almost gets herself killed. Don't worry, he shows up and with an oblivion blade, he's tearing through people. And then she kills herself here, and he uses all his juice to heal her. He picked her over the book, which is great. I don't know what the fuck. The book is probably going to say that now you need to kill the thing that he loves. So it'll be like, Diana? Basically, you break his heart, and that's how he dies. They turn to stone.
Maybe.
I'm assuming. But you'd think it'd have to be something a little quicker than that. But if her rage... Oh, we're getting into this.
It was bad.
Yeah, sorry.
Chapter 45, Diana's POV. She's missing her heart, and I loved how this was described. Liam placed her heart back. He made her feed on him also, and it was so good to her. She's like, wow, this is incredible. Liam is upset that she took his choice away and that she didn't trust that he could save her and the book. He's upset that she acts like her life means nothing. And then he passed out.
Which is bullshit.
I thought it was kind of BS that he's like aggressive, loves her. I don't know how to describe how he conveys his love for her. He's very aggressive. You act like your life means nothing. And I think it could be worded better, but at the same time, I'm assuming that's just how he expresses himself.
I see this more as you have two people independently making decisions. And it shows how communication is key, and then trust. Like, she didn't think he would, how do I put this? She trusted that he would put her life over this book, and therefore over the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Which I think is a valid point from her perspective.
And she thought he would put the book and the rest of the world over her life, which I did think was fair, given that is the impression he has been giving this entire...
She didn't think that. That's why she killed herself.
Yeah, so he would do that.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, never mind. You're right.
It's okay. I was like, you just said yes and then completely contradicted what I was saying.
You're right. You're
Get
right.
out of here.
He passes out. Chapter 46, Diana's POV. She talks with Gabby about the events and just kind of goes over all of this. Gabby is shocked Liam and her are a thing. I don't know why that was shocking to Gabby. She seems like the type that would have completely called it.
You're a doctor. You should have seen through some of people's bullshit.
Well, maybe not just that, but the amount of movies that she's watching that are all kind of cheesy and about
Rom-com?
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
That she would have saw this coming a little bit, but maybe she sees it as this type of stuff doesn't happen in real life. Therefore, I need to watch the movies.
You live in a world with fairy tale creatures.
I thought everybody was aware of this. Part of the news thing at the end is Xaden telling all of the humans, all of these things are real. You've been fed lies.
I think the lies were that they no longer existed.
Oh,
Not
okay.
the Celestials.
Okay. Yeah, human and celestials exist. And these otherworldly things like Liam and Xaden, Diana, Tobias, they all
I think
do.
Liam is...
What about the
No.
irvacuva? Do you think humans and celestials are aware of
No,
them?
that's what I'm saying. I think all the otherworld stuff is the bad stuff.
Okay.
I think the Celestials have been like, don't worry, we've saved you all. There's nothing bad here. You're welcome for Utopia.
Yep.
And then Caden's like, they fucking lied. I'm going to change it all.
Diana has her blood dream, and it's based in not long after forming the hand. Imogen brings a Igmorthan's head, and it's so sad because Diana is so jealous of Imogen. She finds her smoking hot. No surprise, and especially the fact that she was such a great leader and brought in Igmorthan's head, all of these things. It's just really sad that later that Diana needs to pose as her later.
True.
But we'll get into that. In this dream, everyone is upset with Liam. His dad is ashamed of him. And then it switches to the old God's War, a goddess that was blaming him the
His
last
dad
dream.
defends him.
He does in this next part. He kind of defended him.
It
in
wasn't
the-
his dad that was ashamed of him.
Yes.
It was another courtier who was
No.
like, you act like a child, this and that, blah, blah, blah.
That did happen, but his dad also said, I'm ashamed of you.
Oh, all right.
And he was very, that's when Liam looked down and actually felt some remorse, it seemed like,
Okay.
because his dad was taking the side of everybody else. Switches to the old God's War. The goddess fought with Liam, and Liam was losing. Maybe this is also part of my idea that maybe Liam couldn't get Diana and the book.
She said she was more powerful than him,
Mm-hmm.
and she was beating him down. And then his dad shows up.
Yes. Knocks her off of him. His dad saves him, and his dad was killed by another god. Liam is very emotional and upset, and he calls the Blade of Oblivion.
The Oblivion Blade.
Yes. And it's so neat because I didn't understand what all the earthquake stuff meant. He stabs it into the planet and destroys the entire planet is what he did.
Yep. And I might add, he wasn't necessarily, he was being overpowered, but while not using, like, it would be like fighting a big dude with an arm tied behind his back. Like, yeah, they're winning. And she's like, I'm more powerful than you. Summon your mighty blade of oblivion. And he's like, no. But then when he did do it, he won.
He did. And he made it. He forged this weapon too. I thought somebody made it for him. It sounds like this ritual aspect where you go in with a clear and open mind and this weapon is created for you specifically. And it was after his mother died. I don't know how she died.
Nope.
We probably should have been
That lady
paying
was
attention.
badass, though.
She was. So what I get from all of this coming together is that Liam was a spoiled, childish man-child, acted irrationally, started some shit, and the consequences were the God's War.
They wanted him to serve two purposes. I don't blame Liam for all of this. You want him to be the world ender, right? You want him to go into battle and eviscerate everything and blah, blah, blah. But then you also want him to be a diplomat. And those are two different personalities entirely. And nobody encompasses all of that in one human being.
Oh, I was taking he became the world ender because of his irrational decision making, and that this whole war was started because of those actions.
No, they wanted him to be this mighty warrior but they also wanted him to be the diplomatic king.
Yeah, and it was confusing because he's also the reason all the realms are locked away right now, and that's why it's his death that would release this chaos.
Right, because I think that would be the end of a Blade of Oblivion that's sealing all of this now.
Oh.
Is my understanding. That's my understanding of this. I could be wrong, but I think it's something that I really liked about this book that we don't see in the other books is showing that it is a dichotomous thing to have somebody capable of the atrocity and the violence that this almighty warrior has, while also being the world's greatest strategist and being able to think empathetically to all of these groups of people. That's not a real thing.
It's not, but I think that's who he's now becoming after getting to know Diana is the direction I'm seeing it take. He wasn't that person. He hasn't been that person. He got depressed and has been locked away and still not that person. He now gets to know Diana and he's gaining this empathy, becoming the leader that
he will gain the empathy, but he will lose the part of him that would allow him to decimate these swaths of other people.
Oh, yeah, for any other reason. Well, he would do it for Diana, which again is irrational to some degree.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It isn't something that's both. You can't both be capable of violence that is uninhibited and then also be capable of being empathetic to the majority of people. You're either on your side. Providing empathy to people who you agree with is easy. Providing empathy to people whom you don't align with is difficult. And I don't think that that person can be both.
Do you think that he has empathy towards Igmorithans or sees Diana as the exception?
I think he maybe is developing this sense toward Igmorithans, potentially. The only one we really see it with so far is Diana. I think he will eventually develop that empathy, but that's what will prevent him from just stabbing the sword in there and killing all of the Igmorithans. I think it'll be brought to the point where, hey, there's these groups of people which aren't bad, you know what I mean, in their entirety. And that's what will prevent him from doing something and handicap him to an extent.
Okay. You see this much more logically in the structure of a book also.
What do you mean?
Well, you're thinking of, well, he needs this to have this goal. Like he needs to be handicapped and he needs these difficulties. Even when you were thinking about how Xaden could be the daughter, it was based off the logic of we can't introduce another woman right now in the book when we have these women in this with Liam.
Yeah, I stand by the daughter is alive, and whether that daughter is Xaden or I think something that may still be a plot point is I think it could be Diana. Like it would introduce some intrigue without providing us another character to focus on.
Yeah, but then it's weird if it's that because then he's into his best friend's daughter.
He wasn't his best friend. He was a guy that worked for his dad and him.
Fair.
Like, I don't know. I think if you look at this through the perspective of that, the age thing alone is a problem. But if we avoid that.
I don't think there's an age problem between the two of them. They're like centuries and
she's a few hundred years and he's a few thousand years.
I looked at her little wiki page. She's like 1,000 years.
Okay, so she's 1,000 years old and he's several thousand years old.
I think it's fine.
No, and I'm fine with that too. That's what I'm saying. But if we're looking at there's a disparity between those two, then I'm also not concerned about. There wasn't any grooming involved, even if it is the daughter of somebody who
You're right. You're
with.
right. I'm being pedantic on this.
I think a little,
yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
But I just don't believe that Azrael's daughter is dead because why, number one, make it Azrael's daughter an important chunk of this if the only purpose is for you to find a book and then she dies instantly and she was already dead?
Yeah, I see what you're getting at.
So I stand by.
Just not this book, obviously.
Yeah. And I stand by it's either Gabby, Diana, or Xaden, or potentially the Witch Queen, because she also understands magic so deeply that Liam was surprised by it. So I find that to be interesting, because he also asks about her lineage, and she's like, no, I'm not so-and-so's daughter or granddaughter, which I believe is the lady that he was fighting.
Oh, this woman that was on top of him, just about to kill him, and his dad saves him from, that's the level of power that he saw in Camilla?
The control, not level of power, because he also points this out when he's training Diana. It's not about how much power you have, it's the way that you can wield it.
Right.
And I think he's become more powerful since then through practicing his magic and kind of the way that he interacts with it.
Oh, that's a cool connection that I didn't make.
I don't know if it's real.
Well, we're in chapter 47, Liam's POV. He's thinking about how his dreams did come true as they lay in the teen boys' room because they took over somebody else's house. There's like a whole family there. And he thinks about how he resurrected Diana. This is important that he used the word resurrected. That is, it wasn't just her healing power that did this. It was him resurrecting her, doing something that he probably shouldn't have done, and there will be consequences. He could not magically call Logan. He had to physically call him. Small but odd detail. Him and Logan meet up. Logan implies that Liam is in love with Diana. Drake and Nevra and Gabby, he's getting an uneasy feeling about. And that's when they have this conversation. Liam's like, he's just a flirt and not to worry about him. This clued me in that there's something wrong with Drake. When Logan still wasn't pleased with Drake, I thought there was something suspicious about Drake being there with Gabby. So the ending, I kind of saw a little bit.
Why Nevra? Why you throwing Nevra in this?
Oh, she was just hanging out there. But this is also the scene where Logan is telling Liam that he probably likes Diana because, you know, she has a way with these words and her physique, and Liam calls him out on it. He's like, do you think Nevra would like you saying this? And he's like, we're not talking about this, or we're talking about you.
But he didn't say she got the finest ass ever, like
He
everybody else says.
I think he was implying it, though.
I think he was saying, you're clearly going to be a little smit with how this one's built.
Yeah.
And I appreciate Logan being like, I don't think Nevra would like to hear you complimenting another lady like that. I think that's wonderful. But then Logan being like, shut the fuck up. We're talking about you. Back to what we're doing. You're deflecting.
But I did like Liam's take on that little
I
section.
agree.
I think this is when they were planning for Diana to meet a council. Was not the case. I wasn't understanding this. They needed to get inside like this little library to do research. And Imogen needed to be distracted by Logan. Diana wakes up and she's pissed and calls him the world ender. Chapter 48, Diana's POV. Sounds like Liam made irrational... Oh, we already talked about this. This is when I kind of was putting the pieces together of what did Liam do to cause the gods' war and cause his father's
I
death.
stand by. I don't think Liam caused it.
I thought that it was his actions created this trigger of things that everybody around him saw would happen. And Liam was saying, I didn't mean for this to happen, though. I was like, well, if you thought about it, everybody else saw that this would happen.
Yeah, I stand by. It seemed more like his dad was just being usurped.
Probably because there are a lot of family secrets that Liam didn't know about.
Correct. I think Liam's poorly informed. I don't think he caused shit.
Fair. We learn about the sword was forged after his mother's death. No one living knows what happened that day, but I noticed that Vincent was in the beginning of the dream after the hand was formed.
Yep. I don't know. I don't fucking trust Vincent. Vincent has not been endeared to us as a reader.
What if Xaden is Vincent?
Or what if Vincent is working with Xaden, and that's how Xaden knew all of this information?
Well, Xaden is older than the God's War. He's older than Liam, so it would make sense that he has some recollection of whatever's going on.
Right.
But how, I don't know.
I don't know. I think Vincent is in league with Xaden.
Interesting. Yeah, we didn't find out this
I imagine
book.
that's how he got Gabby.
I thought he got Gabby because she was with Drake.
She was still with Nevra on them. She wasn't with Drake in this. Drake had gone there. I don't know. I don't see where Drake would be capable of removing Gabby if Logan and Vincent were on the same page of, hey, we're keeping an eye on her. Because that was the whole point of the meeting is keep an eye on fucking Gabby. We don't trust other people and we need her to be safe, is what Liam tells them. They're like, don't worry about it. We're on it, boss. We'll keep her extra safe. And who would Logan trust? I don't think Logan would betray Liam.
Oh, so you think that Drake is the fall guy
Potentially.
for who grabbed Gabby?
Well, even if Drake assisted in this, and for whatever reason Drake's being manipulated, you still needed either Logan or Vincent to have betrayed him in some way.
Right.
And I don't think it could be Logan. So I stand by Vincent's the one that has not been endeared to us. And the last mention of Vincent had something to do with there's a woman who created Vincent.
There was, and it was that woman that was on top of him.
Right, and that's what I thought.
There was
that's
something
the same
about it.
lady who created Vincent is the one who wanted, what's his name, dead? Sam Kyle, dead. So, if that's the case, I think there may be maybe she put like a sleeper agent deal in him.
Then this scene switches to their plan to sneak in Diana disguised as Imogen. And Cameron figures out that Imogen smells different, like Imogen. It's actually Diana. What I thought was happening is Liam and Diana are talking with Cameron. They're having this. He's a little suspicious, but then they ease his worries. They then turn around. And what I thought happened was Diana posed as Imogen, but kept Diana's own ass. And that's when Cameron's like, oh, no, I know Imogen's ass, and it's not like that.
That is more than booty.
Yeah. And he then like pops up and appears, and he's very suspicious. I think in the end, well, it doesn't even matter that Cameron didn't believe him anyways. They still did everything that they were going to do.
I really don't even know why she had to be disguised. Sam Kyle does not answer to Cameron.
But she's Igmorth, and I think that's the part that's a big deal. He even addressed it. He's like, if I've been lying about this, there was some consequence. Liam addressed this. I don't remember.
Yeah, it just seems flimsy to me. You do what you want.
So yeah, I thought it was her ass, and that's why Cameron didn't believe. But it turns out he has a great sense of smell. And we're down to the last 3 chapters of the book. It's Diana's POV again in
Hold
chapter
on, it's
49.
brought up that how do the clothes fit her when she turns back into herself?
Ooh, I don't know.
They're loose in the chest. Imogen is chestier.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know.
I'm surprised that there wasn't more dialogue on feeling insecure at all there's one thing
She kind of does bring it up.
Yeah.
She's just like, well, Imogen's clothes, a little looser in the chest than I was prepared to fill out, and I've got my scar.
Yeah. It was sad. I think that I would have been very critical if I was disguised and convincingly disguised as a woman I was jealous of that you've had feelings for or something like that in the past. I would be very sensitive to how you spoke and treated me. And
While you were disguised as that.
Yeah. And
like if I looked down and I'm like, nice tits, Imogen, you'd be like, excuse me?
I wouldn't be able to get through it. The fact that Diana did, I truly would have had a crisis if that was me.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we've got it on easy mode.
Because you could have spoke to me nicely as if you're speaking to me and treat me as me. And then I'd be like, oh, do you...
Treat Imogen like you treat me.
Yeah, exactly.
So what would have been the right answer in that moment?
There would have never been a right
okay.
answer. That's how I know I would have had a crisis.
If I would have treated her like shit, maybe I'd have been like, Imogen, you ignorant slut.
And then I'd be like, why are you treating me like shit? I'm not Imogen.
Oh.
You weren't going to win.
Okay. All right. I'm not prepared for this situation ever. Luckily, we're not shapeshifters.
Exactly. They find some books about what Diana may be. There's missing books about the Book of Azrael, and Liam finds that odd.
Why the fuck would there be books on the Book of Azrael? You denied it existed.
And I think Diana says this, like, why would anybody keep other things about it? That makes no sense. He's like, you're right, you witty girl. Let's go see this creature. And I think she calls him out, like, why didn't we come here first?
Yeah. Basically, the fates. I can't remember what they're called in this. Is that what they're called here?
I don't know, but it was a cool description. It was like head was spinning, like multiple heads spinning around, and it's like all ghostly.
Yeah, but it's sort of meant to just mirror the Greek thing, right?
I don't have much
fates.
Greek knowledge.
So I don't either. It's all Greek to me. Done. But I believe the fates are a Greek thing where it's one of them is the past, one of them is the present, one of them is the future.
Oh, yes. Because that makes sense with the types of riddles and clues that they were given. Liam blames himself for prioritizing her over everything. And now there was a war coming. And this is one of the times that Liam just kind of urged me with his verbiage. He's like, you make me XYZ. You make me, you make me, you make me. And he hates how much she affects him was one of them. And I'm like, our verbiage could be better. Like, this is, I know you're trying to be sweet, but actually it's kind of a little hurtful. But I think,
Coming off like a bit of a dick.
I think it's a me problem with this. I think it's actually really great. If I think I was being a problem is what I think it is.
To be fair, it also rubbed me the wrong way. Hearing it at first, I'm like, you do not blame her for your feelings. You take ownership of what you're feeling, and it's okay to inform her, but you can't say, you make me, because it does come off a little bit, and maybe it's the way we're programmed through societal experience now. When somebody makes you angry, or like, oh, you make me so mad, that's why I punched a hole in the wall. You're like, no, motherfucker, you don't know how to operate within your own feelings. That's why you punched a hole in a wall.
And I think he was doing more endearing things, like, you make me want to burn down the world for you.
Yes, and I don't disagree, but the way it was so accusatory,
Yeah,
I'm just like,
you do this to me. I'm like, no, you want to burn down the world. She's just existing with her fine ass, and that's making you want to do
booty's
things.
so fine, I want to burn down the globe. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta chill, my guy. And that's where it became better as he went through it. But initially, I'm like, you motherfucker.
I
Please
think it's aggressive love, and he's also struggling with these feelings because he's never had them before, and he's putting it on her, and I'm like, I'm hoping this gets better, and that you don't say you in the future, and you say I feel this way.
I really like that you bring this up in that way, where you're like, he's never had these feelings before, because it does validate a lot, where otherwise you're like, listen, you're just being an immature twat. But the reality is, it is immaturity. He has not had to learn what these feelings are. It's just like being a teenager.
Yeah, he doesn't know what to do with these feelings, and he seems to be very confused.
Hormones are all over the place.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what's going on, but sometimes his wiener gets hard now. A wiener of the heart.
And he says, I can't do this without you. I can't do this with you. I think he said without. I'm hoping he said without. I'm hoping that's a typo.
I don't know. I don't remember that note. I can't do this with you.
No, I think it's I can't do this without you, and he's asking for her help.
Is it sweeter if he's like, I can't do this without you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And without Liam, chaos is released into the world, and this seems to be Caden's grand plan, is to take out Liam, which will release.
Sounds to me like he fucking... Do you know what chaos is?
No.
I believe the way that he unleashed chaos on the world is actually Diana. Chaos is fucking coming for him. Do you remember how this book ends?
Yeah.
It
Well,
is sick. All right, we need to talk about it more.
we can, because chapter 50 is her realizing she can't find her sister. She's nowhere to be, and
Liam's a little fucking annoying the way he's like, but where?
oh
but
yeah,
where?
you can ask, where do we look one time, Liam? By the third or fourth time, you can shut the fuck up.
Twice if you have a clarifying question like he eventually gets to.
Because she was...
Is there anywhere you can think of that you've been that isn't this plane? I think that's fine to ask. But I got fucking annoyed. I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude.
I agree. I thought it was because I was tired while listening and I was falling asleep, and I was like, Liam, knock it off. She just wants to find her sister. She's expressing her feelings. And he's like, but where do we go? And she's like, I don't know. We need to find her. We need to keep looking. He's like, but where? I'm like, all right, that was fine. And then I think it was back and forth. I don't know how many times he said it. It'd be
too many.
Too many is what it was.
Too many. I'm with you. I was like, Liam, shut the fuck up and let her think. Why don't you check some places in the meantime? Why don't you call some people and get some people on this?
I think he just needed to provide her comfort in that moment of, I'm going to continue to look.
Yeah, let's look. I'll go search. You let me know if you could think of anywhere. I've got the best minds on it. Where's my boys and girls?
And that ended up being kind of his plan anyways.
They're not good at Scooby-Dooing their way through this.
Well, when the TV turns on, he calls Logan anyways and says, you need to find where he's at. If this is on every single station, there's no way we can't find him.
They're like, we can't shut it off. The transmitters are all over the place. I have a fucking question.
Which is?
The easiest way to find this would be, where was the last place we knew Gabby was? How was she abducted? Like, specifically, who had eyes on her last? We're talking to that motherfucker.
And those questions weren't asked.
That's why I said they can't Scooby-Doo their way through. They're not detectives.
because they're going all over the world and everywhere Xaden has taken Diana to search, but yet we don't have the conversation of who last saw her.
I could not agree more.
I think it's intentional, and now I'm starting to think maybe you're right about Vincent. It's somebody so close to Logan and Liam that they wouldn't give it a second thought.
They would both have trusted him.
Exactly. And that's Vincent.
Yep.
Oh, goodness.
Watch me be so wrong, but I bought the second book as soon as I was done with this book.
Chapter 51. Tell me about it. I'm sure it's on your mind. This is where the TV is on and the news begins.
Presented perfectly, I might add. It's the same bad guy thing that they always do where they break down their plan, but it's done with so much flair. I love it. They're like, and today's news, which I imagine it's being broadcast globally. I don't know how I feel about that, because globally we don't all watch the same news, right? That would be odd.
Well, I was
For a
thinking
certain
about-
group of people, it's like, hey, that's our local news anchors. When they move to the weather person, locally, Adri would be like, wow, what a good-looking individual. That's the best-looking person who's ever been on TV.
Oh, handsome weatherman.
What are they doing here?
Exactly as we'd expect.
Was it I believe it was a woman, wasn't it, presenting the weather?
Most likely.
It could have been a man. It doesn't matter. Whatever they were gorgeous. But
Diana hasn't listened to the news at all this book. The chances of her watching the news at that time seem unlikely.
and what station would you pick where people would believe it was real?
It was on all stations.
Yeah, well, but I mean, it's the same people presenting it, right? Let me frame this as, if this popped up as Newsmax for me, I'd be like, oh, this is bullshit. I would look away from the TV.
I would
Either-
keep turning it off, and if it kept popping on, I would unplug
I would assume
it.
the TV's broken. I'd be like, well, the TV's broken. This is weird. Boop, unplug it. Or I would just go away. I don't have to be in front of a TV. I can be somewhere else. For a large group of the world, it would be, if it was CNN, they'd be like, oh, this is probably propaganda bullshit. We're walking away from this. There's a huge, vast portion of the population that's looking at this like, it's probably bullshit. I don't trust that news station. And after it happened, they'd be like, I don't know how they did it, but either the so-and-so group that I disagree with or the other so-and-so group that I disagree with clearly did something nefarious, and they're trying to manipulate us.
Xaden, I think, thinks too highly of the general public to hear what he's saying and take it at face value, where he's like, all the things that you've been told is a lie. And they're like, but that's a lie.
I would love it, though, if it was just a play on words and it was CNN, for it's the Celestial News Network. You know? Wouldn't that be cool? Like, for all of your celestial news, and then they pop up these people, and they're clearly dead, which is so cool. I love the way that they had the zombies presenting the news, but they gave them so much personality with it.
They did.
This would have been a fun writing exercise, and I think the author nailed it. Nailed it. What is this author's name? Nicole V.
Amber v. Nicole.
Okay, that's what it is. Ricky Bobby, 2 first names. Amber v. Nicole, you killed it. Absolutely nailed this. This was my favorite chapter of the entire book. The book was great. This was awesome. The news people are dropping lore as they go, right, about what's happening, what's going to happen. They're asking questions as if you were an audience member and you had questions. I think that was such a nice touch. It wasn't just blast you with information. It's, oh, what does that mean for us? Perfect. That is a valid question a person would have.
Even making them laugh at the horrible news.
It's perfect. So perfectly done. Xaden, the way he's folding his hands in front of him, is unsettling as
The way
fuck.
he enters, even.
He was leaning back with his feet on the thing. He's chill as fuck. He is the anti-Liam. It's the same energy, just the opposite. And that's part of why I'm theorizing there's some relation here. Because they both have this indomitable, just overpowering presence.
I think that if they were related, Xaden would have thrown that in his face.
I think he did. And that's what I'm about to get into. So, when basically they're talking about how, not to worry, we're going to kill the celestial god. That'll open the realms. What does that mean for the people? Oh, all kinds of things. You guys could either be all dead or enslaved. Who's to say?
We don't know yet. We haven't
don't
worked
know.
out the details.
And they're like, well, that's exciting for us. Thanks. More on that at 11. And they're moving through it. And they're like, but about these people who I hate. He's like, Diana, this whore is with the king. And they throw her picture up there, right? And then it's this is Sam Kyle, also known as Liam. He's a fucking tool. And Xaden's like, number one, he should not have been wearing the crown. There's some jealousy as to the fact that Xaden or that Liam would have inherited the title of God.
Oh, yeah, there was stuff about family drama again.
Family drama and how...
Oh my God, he has another brother. We've talked about him when he was in that dream with Imogen and they were banging.
Yep.
Yeah, he made a comment of, why wouldn't it go to so-and-so or something like that? And he's like, no, you're the second. And when I was like, oh, is this like a second, like the last child born thing? You're like, well, that doesn't make sense because what if you're like an infant or something like that and you're the last born? That doesn't make sense. You would become king.
God, baby.
Yeah.
We don't want that. I think...
He has to be. Yep.
I think they're half brothers.
Yeah.
I think Xaden is half Igmorathan, half God fella, like Liam is. And I think Liam is more pure, and that's why he was going to inherit the throne, was because he's all celestial or God. And I think that's where the jealousy comes in with the bastard child, who I believe would be the older brother.
Yes.
And I think that explains why Xaden knows so fucking much about everything, because he was around for it. He existed already. And why he keeps throwing out there that this was the wrong man for the job. They picked him and he fucked it up.
Yeah, and that's why there was so much pressure on Liam to do so well, because there was going to be this uprising. There was a lot of pressure on him to do well.
And why else would there have been this uprising? Were the Igmorathans and everybody, and some of the Celestials, and the magic lady who's beating up Liam in that dream. Why would they think that there could have been something unifying to that group if the dad died? Who would have taken over and unified it? Somebody who's half Igmorathan and half whatever that guy was.
Oh, what if also the coronation thing had to do with him, Xaden, the older brother, and Liam didn't go to the coronation?
Could be. I thought... Oh, that's a good point too. I, for some reason, thought coronations were more of like an induction into society. And I think if Liam is younger than Xaden, I don't imagine that one would have been a big deal, but it could have been. And I would add that how else do you get one of the 4 kings to work for you? You have to be something that's considered insanely powerful. So if this dude is a blend of like an Igmorathan queen and Liam's dad, then he would be insanely powerful also, just like Liam is.
Oh, wow.
And she brings up that Liam is like a ball of light and the other guy is a ball of shadow. They are the antithesis of one another. The best way to frame that, if you're writing a story just narrative device-wise, is to have them be brothers who have love for the same woman. Diana was his queen. Now Diana's Liam's queen.
Oh my God, no, I can't feel bad for Xaden. No,
I don't.
That's
well,
garbage.
Here's the thing. I don't feel bad for Xaden, but I wonder, because the way Xaden talks about Diana in this news conference thing, I think he did love Diana.
In the best way that he could. But I think that's where the beginning of this book is so important for building up Xaden, to make sure that we don't like Xaden because he kind of has a shitty background.
I also have a theory as to why he fucked around on her, on Diana.
Why?
Because Diana talks about how, like, well, he fucked other people, even though in the beginning it was like real love in the beginning. And then it turned into, she realized that he loves other people too, and he's just using her. Because Liam said that his dad warned against them falling deeply in love because it would become their weakness. So I think he was falling in love with Diana for real, and then realized that it would make him vulnerable. So he decided to push her away. And then as he kind of pushed her away and kept her at arm's length, because he did still love her, but he couldn't commit himself. Otherwise, he would become weakened by that.
Maybe, but I thought he was keeping Diana close because whatever method he used to save Diana is the weapon that we now are about to see.
I don't know, because I'm still not sure exactly what's going on with Azrael, his book or his daughter. I don't know what's happening with things, but I know that Liam now is like, I can't do this without you. That implies that he gave a part of himself to bring her back to life. His dad cautioned against bringing people back to life because of what the cost of that is. There's so fucking much that's fallen into place in my brain, and I can't say it out loud. Like the person that sent us the theory, if you're listening to this, you're an absolute rock star. I'm not driving right now like you were. Please drive responsibly. However, It's hard to get all of your thoughts into one cohesive sentence, but everything fell into place for me. All of my bullshit theories are probably wrong, but I think I could write this into matching what I've said without it being too riddled with plot holes.
You've put this together. I didn't see any of this when I finished the book. The only thing that I saw was Drake being the one that got Gabby because Logan was so suspicious of him. And all of these other things I never pieced together. I took it at face value. I guess I was listening and believing Xaden and everything that he was saying. And I didn't see any of this. This is a way cooler ending than I got out of when I was first listening to it.
I may be assigning some shit that is not real.
No, but still, it's really fun and exciting to start the next book, though.
Oh man, this is why I'm so stoked. I finished this book 5 minutes before you did.
Yeah.
Because you were on a phone call and we had been listening independently, but we'd kind of synced up a little bit. I didn't know you were on the phone. I came downstairs to tell you, I was like, holy shit. Best ending of a book that we've read, period, for this type of book. And this beginning of the book was fine. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed this book. Was so good to the worst parts, I would say, were mediocre for me through this book. Dude, this ended better than any other book. This ended as good or better than Serpent Feathers did for me.
And to clarify, Serpent Feathers is the Serpent and the Wings of Night.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm debating on us reading the next two books at a faster pace, less episodes, because I want to be reading other books also. Like, I want to keep moving forward, but I don't know if I should. So I guess we'll see how this next week goes, if we'll do it at the same pace of 1 month, or if we'll double time and do it in 2 weeks.
Homie, I'm willing to binge the next book. One listen through. I'm willing to tear through this thing because I want either to be validated with my theories or I want to see the direction that she's decided to take this, because you could take it any direction. We haven't even got to what the end of this really is.
No.
Xaden calls out Sam Kyle. He's like, motherfucker, I am going to grease you. You're a piece of shit. Your daddy was a piece of shit. You all suck. I'm going to open the realms with your blood. We're getting this done, which is rad. The way Xaden does it, he's calm. He's an amazing villain. And I'm so fucking glad that there's still some intrigue here. The biggest, most unsettling thing to Liam in this is that he couldn't tell that they were being followed.
Yes, and I love that he addressed it.
Yes.
And there was a very good there's a reason why that, other than their brothers.
There's got to be something. We don't know what it is yet.
Well, I wondered if it had something to do with the Four Kings, because I think they were being followed by dead people. And Diana was getting the uneasy feeling everywhere because there was a dead person nearby watching them.
And that's totally possible. What a great move. Who are our other three kings? Well, 2 kings.
Well, are they all kings, or is Diana the second one?
Is Diana the second one? Is Xaden one of them?
I don't know.
And is Liam the fourth one? We don't know. I want to find out. There's so many cool little things going on here. And I've missed a lot in this book. Like, I realized at the end, I was like, oh my God, it's all coming together. And it all felt like it came together. And I'm like, there's no fucking way these are the only plot points that carried through. What else happened? Gabby was taken and she was murdered.
Yes. And there's
like
no
I
way
said she would be.
I thought she was going to die, but I thought she was the one that was going to be resurrected.
I did too, but she was killed on national television, and the fucking way that he did it was so weirdly kind of nice in its own way, not good.
It was fast.
And he let her have last words, specifically addressing her sister, which I think is meant to really ignite the angry energy that her sister has, but also it's sort of a kindness to the person that's dying. He didn't do it in a kind way, but allowing her to express herself, because I think if she would not have been allowed to express herself, Diana would have been equally pissed watching her die. So I do see that as Xaden is a shitbird through and through, but he's not a mindless zombie shitbird. He is a character. He has development, and he clearly has lore that exists outside of our main characters and is going to be important. It's so awesome.
And now I feel guilty. We gave it 4 stars.
Did I convince you it was better?
You did. Yeah.
Amazing. We can amend it.
Yeah. No, but I think 4 stars is a little fair because of the start. It is a slow start.
It starts off a little, the romance aspect starts off slow. The action doesn't. Like,
True.
I enjoyed the first few chapters. It did take you 9 to 12 chapters or something to really get into
7 to 12, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. It took you a few chapters, and I get that. For me, it was just probably one of the better books of this genre. I'm really, really glad we read it.
That's good. I'm excited to start the next book.
You know who we haven't met up with yet, and we haven't heard shit about through the end of this book that only existed in the first several chapters? The fucking werewolves.
Oh, yeah.
Where are they at? They're the natural enemy of the vampires, if I'm to believe what the Blade movies and should have taught me.
Yeah, I forgot all about them.
Yeah, they're going to come up too. I don't know how. Okay, well, that's fair. And you would put this on a scale of just enough spice, not enough spice, or too spicy.
Perfect amount.
Perfect. We love it. And the 12-inch penis. Perfect amount of penis.
Yeah, I'll let you have that one.
I'll let you have that one.
I love you.
I love you.
You're my bestie.
You're my bestie. Open your legs and close your books. It's over. Thank you guys for supporting us. It's been a good time. If you'd like more,
Follow us here, TikTok or Instagram. Fable, if you want to join our book club. Patreon, if you want episodes early.
drop it on Tuesdays if you're into that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah. Episodes are releasing on Tuesdays. If there's a 2-parter, it's going to be on Thursdays.
We accept 5-star reviews and nothing less. If you leave something less, you're a motherfucker.
No!
Oh.
Honest reviews.
Not that honest. Only leave a review if you're willing to be a 5-star honest person. Should we come up with something mean to say to him on the way out? I kind of want to pick on him.
No, I
don't
won't say
want that,
love
dude.
you. Bye.
Oh, you can tell him that you love him.
Okay.
I won't.
Love you guys before Ryan bullies you out of here.
I'm fine with most of you. I love you, bye.